Life is a lifestyle, not just a cool t-shirt. You can visit Hangar Life on Facebook. And a couple of puffs of smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for high-intensity aerobatics from Adam Baker in his Extra 300. An upright flat spin. Now, and it pushes into a Cuban 8. He's prescribing a horizontal 8. If we had no wind, you would see a figure 8 sitting on its side in the sky when he finishes. Oh no, he says, I'm going to do a little whoop-de-doos on the 45-degree down line. There's the second half of the Cuban 8, except he's going to short circuit it, go right straight up, doing aileron rolls and then a shoulder roll on the way up. Once he reaches zero airspeed, keeps the power on, allows the plane to continue to roll with the torque of the engine. They call it the torque roll. Now, Adam will put the Extra 300 into a nice to keep the airplane in the air. And folks, if you don't... He's got it. There we go. Now the pilot will climb to an altitude of 1,000 feet. Struggle with the Japanese. And this airplane performed a very valuable function. Through the genius of General Snow, these pilots were taught not just flying, but air fighting tactics. With their exploits, these amazing airmen not only erased any doubts about the capabilities of the P-40, but created a place in history for themselves and this gallant aircraft. In the Asian conflict, the American volunteer group shot down nearly 300 Japanese planes, many of them the maneuverable Modern Zero, at the cost of only 24 of the P-40s like the one you see flying in front of you right now. Thus, we've born the legend. You're seeing the airplane that created that legend, the Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. It was first flown in early 1941, built by the Curtiss Wright Corporation. Zero. In China, the Flying Tigers used the P-40, adorning it with the now familiar shark's teeth nose decoration, the one you see on this aircraft, in the stable of the Commemorative Air Force, and flown so ably by Mark Allen from the Houston area. The beautifully restored and maintained Curtiss P-40 Warhawk of Flying Tigers fame. Several gold, silver, and bronze medals, all in International Aerobatic Club sanctioned events. He's competed in the U.S. National Championships and finished in the top 10 in his category. Kurt has been performing in air shows for about 5 years now. Gold, silver, and bronze medals, all in International Aerobatic Club sanctioned events. He's competed in the U.S. National Championships and finished in the top 10 in his category. Kurt has been performing at air shows for about 5 years now. Earlier with Adam Baker, Hanger Life is hanging around the yellow Pitts biplane back in the far corner of the spectator viewing area. If you want to get an autograph or talk about flying or pick up a Hanger Life t-shirt or something, wander on over there. Kurt will be over there after he finishes flying if you want to get in. There you go. The roll, inverted roll. Now he's setting up to do the torque roll. You saw Adam Baker do it. Let's watch as Kurt Richmond sets it up. He's going to do a hammerhead stall turnaround there. Just kicks that left rudder, gives it a little right aileron, dives it back down, gains enough airspeed. No, he says I'm going to do a 4-point roll first. He said in order to gain the airspeed he needs, he might have to do some maneuvering up there. That looks like that's what he's doing right now. Now, should be right straight up and start to roll the aircraft. Now, once he reaches 0 airspeed, he keeps the power on and lets the torque in the engine continue to roll the Pitts S2B as he comes back down. Oh, that's a nice one. A torque roll from Kurt Richmond. That's one of the better torque rolls I've ever seen. Now, he's going to do an avalanche for you, an inside loop with 2 snap rolls on the top. Now, you know that's got to be a wild ride, don't you know? How about a wave to Kurt Richmond, folks? Let us also avoid telephone wires, irrigation systems, cell tower type, sky wires, trees, and buildings, all while gauging wind speed, watching their position in the farmer's field on a GPS, regulating their spray system to apply the correct amount of crop as they take off. You'll see the takeoff in. Now Falcon Flight will enter. Now into a 360-degree turn, and as they reach the top of the turn, the pilots change into the airplane formation. This is a difficult transition for the 2 wingmen on each side, as it's like flying backwards as they drop back from the leader's wing to number 4's wing to shift from arrow to airplane formation.
I like how it sounds nice.
There they are in the airplane formation. Now, once again, Falcon Flight will initiate a figure 8, and as they do so, they'll change.
You got a good one?
Extreme skill, ladies and gentlemen, on the part of the pilots of Falcon Flight. Here's Falcon Flight in the Delta formation. Now, once again, team leader Roy Gear will put them into a figure 8 maneuver. Now, as Falcon Flight continues its turn, the pilots return to the Delta formation. They continue the turn to a position straight in front of you. You might want to get your cameras ready for the Falcon Flight bomb burst maneuver. As they approach show center, Falcon Flight lead calls for a break and the wingmen pull up and outside in unison and climb over the top. We'll take you into the cockpit and you'll hear team leader Roy Gear call the bomb burst maneuver. The Falcon Flight bomb burst maneuver. Isn't that nice, folks? Now watch is all. Now the pilots of Falcon Flight will reposition to double maneuvers than most any other aircraft. Its superb flight characteristics have also made it a favorite. Precise roll points, point rolls rather, micro loops, knife edge slides, hammerheads, lands positive G's, and pushing up to 5 negative G's in order to show you what the because he's going to do an unusual photo pass, and if you use your burst mode, you'll get some really interesting and unusual pictures. A hammerhead up at the top. There's your hammer point. Pulls that stick back into his lap, dives it back down, and sets up to do a tumble. There's the tumble. And now let's watch what Andrew calls the broken hammer. Second roll. You won't see any other airplane roll as fast as Andrew rolls the G202. Now, into the broken hammerhead. There's the first part, and there's the second part. Now, let's watch him as he does a series of 4-point rolls. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the carbon fiber G202.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you breaking news. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. It's December 7th, 1941, and you are there! Try to imagine your confusion as the first bombs explode, the first sirens and alarms sound. Right here, right now. Listen to the sounds of battle. Hear the sirens just as they did. Feel the explosions, girls, just as they did that fateful Sunday morning. Look Listen and remember, launched 185 airplanes of the first wave of the Japanese station, spotted the strike force, and reported to their superiors. The officer in charge of the sequence-based attack goes off like clockwork. At 07:55, bombers attack Wheeler and Hickam Air Force Base. 2 minutes later, torpedo planes, just like the ones you are seeing in front of you now, begin their attack on Battleship Row. The outcomes. They make great targets. In fact, the Japanese have designed new torpedoes capable of striking the ships in the shallow harbor, a technological advancement making it easy for the Japanese to destroy them. Just 10 minutes into the battle, the USS Arizona, which has already taken a torpedo, has a bomb strike next to the number 2 turret. The 1,700-pound projectile penetrates deep into the belly of the ship, first through one deck, then 2 decks. It launches next to the number 2 magazine, and when it detonates seconds later, the Arizona erupts like a volcano rising out of the harbor, flames shooting over 500 feet in the air. Almost 1,200 men perish in that moment, sent to a watery grave. Those brave young men still rest in the hold of that great ship at the Arizona Memorial. A testament to their courage, their sacrifice, their honor. At 08:35, the first wave ends. The damage is horrendous. In Washington, early afternoon in the States, an hour after the attack began, Secretary of State, going out this day, has numerous stories of direct fire at enemy aircraft. Even after a bullet passes through his thigh, he refuses to leave his comrades in the window, observing the destruction. When a bullet breaks through that window, it grazes his chest. He is unhurt. Begin. We are Tora, Tora, Tora! And ladies and gentlemen, as we watch these, thank you!
How about a big hand for all of the members of the Tora, Tora, Tora Squadron? In every front of the war, day and night, American factories were producing aircraft. We gave this awesome armada of combat aircraft to our allies. The B-40 Warhawk you saw fly earlier went to every front of the war. We rearmed ourselves in 44 the V-2 rocket sites at Cologne, and then to Berlin itself. And hell rained down. You're seeing examples of the very the B-17 Flying Fortress and the Curtiss B-40 Warhawk. I'd like to remind you that the C-47 Skytrain, Blue Bonnet Bell, the B-25 World War II aircraft, we'd like to invite you to entertain spending a half-hour historical flight in one of these airplanes. Future that make up the armed forces of this great nation. Now we salute our countrymen whose lives have been sacrificed for our country's freedoms. From the aces who flew by the seat of their pants in World War I to the crews that manned the mighty flying fortresses in World War II, we thought the war would end all wars. From the primary trainer of World War II to the May we, the colonels of the Commemorative Air Force, ask that you remember what our freedom means. Remember the lives that were lost in the terrorist attacks on our country. Honor our brave servicemen and women who are fighting terrorism worldwide.